we're going to move right along to Claris Healthcare. And we have Jake here from Claris who's going to do a presentation on their product. Jake, I'm going to start the timer. And I don't know if you have anybody else on the line with you, but the questions, as you now have seen, they come in fast and furious. So
Yes, I've got
if
Robin here
you
to kind of help me there.
awesome. Or leave a
Yep,
minute or two at the end for yourself to be able to answer some out loud.
perfect.
All right, we're going to start right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Jake Levy. I'm with Claris Healthcare. I do want to say, Corton Augmental, fantastic job. Solving such a serious problem there, and just the technology just blows me away. Claris focuses not so much on physical disabilities, but we focus more on intellectual and developmental disabilities. What you're seeing here is a version of what we call the Claris Companion tablet. Um, we do provide a tablet to our customers, but that's not a requirement. If someone already has their own tablet, our app can live on top of that tablet in kiosk mode. Just a little bit of background on kind of like how we made our way into the IDD space. We started our company back in 2012 when we first developed the Claris Companion tablet, but it was designed for older adults, and we really targeted a population that is not typically technology proficient, and we wanted to make it very easy for them to connect to the things that matter most, whether it be their friends, their family, online activities, their clinicians, physicians, and so forth. We kind of found our way into the aging space around COVID, and so COVID really unlocked a market for us where we work within the network of area agencies on aging, Meals on Wheels programs, and any other senior care organization that's concerned about a vulnerable population that is trying to live better aging at home. And so that's kind of how we got into the space. Excuse me, how we got into this space. And about 3 or 4 years ago, we started getting calls from similar organizations that were more concerned, not so much about the aged population, but a population that still is technology challenged and really dependent on coaching and guidance around daily routines and access to family and caregivers. So this is the Claris Companion tablet. If we provide the tablet, it's going to be a brand new Samsung device. We typically do provide it with a built-in unlimited data plan, but again, that's not a requirement. And our mission is really to help our caregiving agencies improve their level of efficiency, and also deliver an experience for these persons with DDD that's going to lead to greater independence and self-confidence. We've been doing this for quite a few years now. We work with several national art programs. We're even working in different school systems, school districts that obviously support students with DD. And so we're having a lot of success. The Claris Companion platform is really made up of three primary components. The first component is our tablet, and I'll do a little demo of how that works in just a second. But I think one of the advantages of working with our tablets is, especially if you're part of a care staff, a care agency, or a family member, is you can use our remote care management console to manage tablets remotely. So, for example, we have a group up in New York called Lifetime Assistance. They have a fairly large, what I'll just call fleet of tablets that they've deployed to various persons that they provide care for. Their care staff can log in to the care management console, and this is where all of the tablet settings live. This is where you can add different buttons and content and then control whatever routines or activities that you're trying to set up for that individual. And then the third component is what we call Claris Insight, and this is the reporting and analytics that supports the outcomes of how the tablet is being used. So if you are really trying to track activity and how people are using their tablets, you're able to do that at a macro level. So you can't really see the messages between an individual and their family members, but you can see that they're using messaging as a tool. So we're very sensitive to protect privacy, but at the same time, we want to give our care agency customers the ability to really see how much activity is being used, and it gives them a way to kind of hone their programs to make them as optimal as possible. Um, we do see a lot of benefits for our DD individuals that are on the platform, and probably the first thing that comes to mind is just this increased independence and self-confidence. So those of you that are in the space providing care for persons with DD, we know how important routine is, and being able to prompt and coach these individuals through their daily routines. Um, Other benefits around safety and security. Our tablets do operate, even though they're internet accessible, they do operate on a closed network. So no one's ever going to get a spam or a scam call through our tablets. Obviously, there's a vast improvement in communication between family and caregivers, and we've also put a lot of emphasis on ease of use and accessibility, which I'll cover that in just a second. As far as the care providers, they see a lot of increase in client satisfaction with the persons that they're providing care for. They like the simplicity of rolling out a technology project that doesn't require really any technology support. So the tablets will leave our warehouse. They're already pre-configured, based on the way that our customers are expecting them to come in terms of what buttons have been activated, what content and virtual programming have been included, what survey questions. And then we can work on an individual basis to make sure that the right routines are set up. So it's highly customizable or highly personalized for that individual, so that they're getting the best experience. What you're seeing here is an example of what the tablet would look like. So over on the left side of the screen are going to be the activities for the day. You can name these whatever you want. We think of them typically in terms of routines. So you can schedule the morning routine. It can vary from day to day. But what will happen is the system's going to automatically wake up at that scheduled time, and it's going to start prompting for that different activity, whatever that prompt is. Over on the right side of the screen, we have what we call our buttons, and this just provides further access to things that may be relevant for that person with DD. So if you want to provide a messaging button, a video calling button, if they need to send out an alert for a caregiver to call them, we have a number of content partners that live within our ecosystem. One of them that's pictured here is we have an exercise partner that has about 180 plus exercise programs, mindfulness programs that our customers really enjoy. And then you can create a website button. Google can be a website behind this button, so it kind of opens up to everything. But you can also create that white labeled experience where you may only want to offer websites that are providing the right guidance and resources for that person. So what I'm going to do on this screen is I just want to kind of walk through so you can see an example. This is Ryan's morning routine. And so the system will wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and it will start prompting Ryan to go through his morning routine before he heads off to school. And again, this is highly personalized. You can choose from a library of pictures that will help that person understand exactly what it is that you're prompting for, whether it's medication reminders, inviting them to an exercise class, whatever the routine is, you're able to do that. In terms of accessibility features, we've really thought about, large fonts, large buttons, very, very clean UI. There's not a lot of need for gesturing and swiping because everything is really just touch of a button. You can do voice to text. So if you're sending a message, you can speak to the device. It'll translate that to text and vice versa. When you're sending messages back into the system, whether that's coming from family members or friends or caregivers, that will convert from text to voice. They'll see both, but they can also hear the message. And then there's a lot of prompts around, announcements and notifications. One more important accessibility feature that's not listed here is we've also translated the tablet's operating system into 15 different languages. So the buttons will come up in different languages, the prompts will come up in different languages, and we're finding a lot of utility as far as the languages are concerned. Okay. This is just an example of one of our content partners that's embedded within our platform, Adults in Motion. Phenomenal live content and video-based content designed specifically for persons with DD. But one of the cool things about our care management console is there's a feature within the console which is called the content library. So any of your own IP, your own content that you've developed that you believe would be very helpful to push out to this audience, you're able to go into the content library. You can partition your population by various groups. It could be interest-based, it could be, physical capabilities based, it could be cognitively based, and then you can build your content into the library, or we'll do it for you, depending on what sort of service plan you opt in to work with us on, and we'll get that set up. So all of that gets pushed out to the right person or the right group of individuals at the right time. We work with a number of different organizations. Some of these might be familiar to you. And I do wanted to kind of expand a little bit beyond the IDD space, that we also connect with a number of devices. So we do have customers that are managing not only persons with IDD, but persons with IDD with chronic disease. So our tablets can pair directly to blood pressure cuffs, pulse oximeters, weight scales, glucometers, and so forth, so that not only are you collecting data on their daily routines and how they're responding to surveys, but you're also picking up vitals, and you can, for example, have somebody's primary care physician as part of that ecosystem that would be receiving outliers around vitals, so they would be able to get alerts and so forth. In terms of our pricing, the tablet, if you need to purchase the tablet, our Samsung device is $299. We offer either on a monthly or typically an annual subscription of $828 a year. In this case, that would include an unlimited data plan. So if somebody already has a data plan or their own on-home Wi-Fi and they don't need that, that price would drop down to $468. So I'm doing the math in my head. So $39 a month versus $69 a month, depending on if we are providing the data services. So I did want to leave some time either to actually demo the tablet that's here on my desk or answer any questions. I'll go to questions first. So Robin, if there are any questions, if you could just let me know that, please.
Jake, there was one, but I've answered it.
You want to share that for the audience in case?
Yeah, so Julia asked, can you import pictures for the daily schedules? Do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm not seeing the timer on my screen here, David. So if you would give me a time check,
So
I would very much appreciate
that. Little under 2 minutes.
Okay, little under 2 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go to my tablet. I am going to remote into my device as time is ticking down. And it looks like my remote software has timed out. So I'm not going to rush to do a demonstration. If you are interested in learning more about the Claris Companion platform, whether it is for persons with DD or for your older adult populations, please contact me at my email address below, jlevy@clarishealthcare.com. We're super grateful for ATIA. It's a wonderful, wonderful association for Claris, and we look forward to supporting your needs as best as we can. Thank you.
Hey, Jake, thank you so much. That was awesome. There is a couple, there's less than a minute left. Does anybody have any additional questions that you want to ask? You can open your mic up if you want really quickly.
So we
What
do
do-
work across 26 states right now. You know, from California to Florida to New York to Washington. We do work with a number of government agencies, both at the county and state level. We have a contract with the New Jersey Department of Health Services Division of Aging. We have contracts with Florida Elder Affairs. As we speak right now, we are rolling out 3,000 tablets to older adults in Los Angeles County. And I think my time is up. Thank you so much.
Hey, Jake, thank you so much.